Hola, buenas tardes. Soy Rocky Hori de Moneda Imposible. Estoy aquí con señorita Somerset y señor Cartwright. ¿Cómo estás?
元気だよ。はは。トッキくんは
C-E-2.
I'm doing all right. I just want to try that once. I really haven't done it.
Oh my god, I do love the really awkward, disheartened it too. That was very good.
I'm a huge fan, actually. But hey, we haven't been here in a while, and I realize I haven't tried to start the show in Spanish in like 7 years. I figured I'd give it a shot. But welcome to the Impossible Coin Podcast. We normally do not conduct the podcast in Spanish or any other language besides English, for that matter. But normally we talk about what's going on in our lives. Historically, we've been extensively about video games. We talk about other stuff too. But this is more of a check-in, I think, than anything else.
I think it's a little bit of both. It's a real show, with real people on it.
It's true.
Was the thing, ¿Por qué no las dos? Why can't it be both?
¿Por qué no las dos? Yeah, no, that's fair. Brian, how you feeling? You feeling real today?
Yeah. We'll see how it goes.
All right, for sure. Okay. I guess I'll go first because I'm already talking, I guess.
I think you also have the most news.
Maybe so. I don't know about all that, but we'll see. But either way, my big update is that I am now married. I'm a married man. I got married a couple weeks ago to my partner. We now live in Ohio. Life is pretty good. We had a big wedding. Tegan was there. Brian couldn't make it. No big deal. Also, I do want to shout out a friend of the show, actually kid brother of the show, Big Sach, because I believe he also got married this past weekend. I saw a couple of those stories on his Instagram, hashtag Sach fell in love. I think that's amazing.
Aww.
Shout out to the kid.
Oh.
Amazing.
I'm sorry, Rocky. I regret to inform you that Sach getting married is much cuter than you getting married.
That's totally fine. He's the kid brother. He gets that. That's fine.
Yeah. Brian, I am sad that you weren't there this weekend because you missed a lot of Rocky's friends bullshitting around, and it was very silly.
My friends are so good at bullshitting. I love them. Oh, man. Also, as long as my wedding remains the most anime wedding so far, at least until Tegan gets married, I think that's fine by me. I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair assessment. My wedding might not end up being so anime. It might end up a lot more video game. Derogatory, unfortunately.
Derogatory? No, Tegan, you can't do this to us. It's not fair.
Okay, here's the thing. Alex and I actively discussed, what if we had 3D printed a bunch of miniature little Koroks and we hid them around the wedding venue, though? What if we did that? And then if people found them and they found 2, they could take them home. What if that was the thing that we did? And we might actually do that. I'm trying to figure out where I can bulk order 100 tiny Koroks of different shapes to paint.
Yeah, you got to go through directly with an artisan or something. I don't know if it's a one-stop shop thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Damn, I wanted to do an ARG in the venue that we ended up having because it was but it didn't come together in time, so I ended up scrapping it.
You do it for a vow renewal or something.
Could be sick. Supposed to rebuild the whole place. They just unveiled some new 10-year plan to rebuild the whole conservatory.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
That's fun.
I'm sorry. I'm still at a bunch of Koroks.
Yeah, a bunch of Koroks. Yeah, 100 of them. 100 tiny 3D printed Koroks, which I will then hand paint myself and obviously seal appropriately, and then hide around the venue with with little notes that say like, yeah, haha, you found me, you know?
I think it's funny. I don't think it's derogatory, but
It could
unless
be
there's something
derogatory
else.
though. It could trigger a lot of people, you know?
Yeah, no, that's fair. I get
And
that.
I did spend a lot of time finding all of those Koroks. So like
Right.
it might mostly be triggering to me.
But like the quest line is just to find 2. You find 2, you get to take them home. I guess unless like you have to find all the ones that people don't find afterward, that could be triggering.
No, I'll have to do that.
Yeah.
I would definitely. I mean, I'm not going to hide them too hidden. You know, they'll just be like in the centerpiece and like around people's like cutlery, you know, and like that kind of stuff. They won't be too hard to find, but they'll be hard to find. It goes like adjacent to an idea I saw on Tumblr of all places where a girl gave her kid little tiny plastic rubber ducks to hide around the wedding venue during a wedding as a way to keep like him occupied during the because he's very small. And at this point, the bride and groom have found several of the ducks like in their stuff that they're bringing to the honeymoon, and they don't know how they got there.
That's pretty great, actually.
Everyone is just finding little ducks, and they don't know what is up with them. And it was just her way of keeping her kid occupied during the reception, you know?
Honestly, big fan.
Yeah, and we might not.
I have a different strategy for keeping the kid occupied.
Okay.
Follow me on this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's called get a fucking babysitter.
That's true.
Yeah, like if your kid cannot be trusted to behave like an event like this, and you're like, here, please distract yourself with these toys, then like maybe it is not time for big formal events yet for the kid. Just gonna throw that out there. Yeah.
I think it was just like harmless, silly thing that the kid could do, like after in between like the time that they arrived and dinner, you know, before they left early. Because he didn't sound like he was he didn't sound like he was under 5. He sounded like he was somewhere between like 7 and 10 years old from the description.
Honestly, I don't know. I get the whole babysitter angle. You know, that's fine. I don't think I feel like the duck thing is actually a pretty clever like solution for something that could have been a problem. But I don't think it was, you know? Like I think now like there's just ducks hanging around, and I think that's like an intrigue at worst.
Mm-hmm. A silly. It sounds like it's mostly a silly at this point, and like a fun additional like wedding memory kind of thing. It's like I get isn't like necessarily a whole thing. Maybe it didn't start out that way, but like now it's just cute, you know? And me doing something similar, but like with a very specific video. I keep not being like, I'm not having a Zelda wedding. And then I keep going, but what if I hid 100 Koroks around my wedding for people to find? Like, you know, it's that juxtaposition that I can't get over.
I always figured you'd have a Zelda wedding anyways.
God. When I got engaged, everyone and their mom sent me the Zelda Firefly Path dress. You know the one? And I was just like, no. Haha, I appreciate the thought, but no, I'm not wearing that.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
It's like too Zelda-y, if that makes sense. Like that's not like the kind of look I'm going for.
It's really on the nose in a way that isn't like, you know, personal.
Yeah.
Border thing.
Yeah. If I was going to do like a cosplay wedding, like very specifically a cosplay wedding, probably, you know? But
fair enough.
That's not the vibe. I don't know what the vibe is yet. That also helps. Like, who knows? It's been 7 years, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes things just take time.
Yeah.
Is it a 7-year engagement at this point?
Yeah. Yeah, we've been engaged for 7 years. A lot of things have happened in the in between of me getting engaged and like being here.
A lot of historical events.
There
broken.
was a multi-year, ongoing global personal pan pizza.
Yeah, which was the first like real hurdle because we had initially planned that 2020 was going to be the year. Like we were pretty settled in for like an October vibe, and then like we were gonna send invites out in February, and obviously none of that fucking happened, right?
Yeah.
Because one of the people I am trying to actively invite is my roommate from college who currently lives in China. And I was like, well, I won't do that. We'll just hang on to the invites until like they open it, until China opens again. Like that makes sense. You know, it should only be a couple months. And then it was like March and we locked down, and I called the venue we had booked and I was like, actually, I think we're going to cancel the wedding. And they were like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, everything's locked down now. And they were like, well, it won't be then. And I said, like, we can bet on that if you want, but I'm going to go ahead and cancel. And they were like, okay, you'll go lose your deposit. And I was like, okay, there it goes, I guess. And then I was right. So it didn't matter. So get got, venue that I will not name.
I will not. Oh God, I remember there were a bunch of people that like still like went through with it at the time. Like they had these like pandemic weddings, and people would show up, and there was like 200 people there, and then everyone suddenly testing positive.
Everyone got sick. Yeah, every fucking one of those people got sick, and I'm just like, ha ha ha. I actually got an email from my venue like that October that was like, we are canceling weddings for the rest of the year. So sorry, we'll refund your deposits because we have made this decision, not you. And I was just like, so you could have given me my money back and you just didn't. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, you would have had to play chicken with him the whole time, though.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to do that.
Well.
But, oh well. Better safer than sorry.
Early pandemic things that I will never be able to understand are let's go ahead and say somebody, you know, dies of the COVID, right?
Okay.
And then a bunch of people are like, I know, let's have a large in-person funeral with no social distancing for this person that died of the COVID.
They hadn't thought that far ahead,
like,
you know?
Why are you having a funeral that will have a body count? Like, what is happening? I don't understand. It's just, I mean, there remain many things I don't understand about the year 2020. But like the insistence that some people had, many of whom were the pickup truck driving these colors don't run types, to like have like large in-person funerals with no social distancing. I'm like, what is this? Why, like, what are you doing? Why?
Well, you got to remember the astonishing amount of propaganda that was going on at the time. Do you remember when they were telling people that the miracle cure to COVID was injecting yourself with ivermectin, like that horse medicine?
The horse paste.
And it was like, yeah, no, you put this right into your veins and COVID can't touch you. We promise. And it was like, dog, what? Like, what do you mean?
Taken orally.
Was it taken orally?
Yeah,
oh, you did have to drink it. Oral. You're right. You did have to drink it.
Yeah.
God.
Fucking horse paste. Gotta get that Windex in the veins, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing it again. Can you believe we're doing it again this November?
We gotta run it back. We have other problems, it turns out.
Whoa. If you're listening to this show in the future, this recording.
If you're listening to this in the future, know that this recording has come out on the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
Ah! The most patriotic thing I think I could do right now is panic. So
Oh man.
just for a little bit, and then I'm gonna figure it out.
We're here to record the series finale episode of America.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, this is the penultimate series, right? Like, because this is spring season, then we go on a small break, and we come back in the fall, and that's going to be the end of America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember, this summer is our sports arc, because the Olympics is going on, and honestly, we are already crushing. So,
man, shout outs to that kid who's like doing their Olympic qualifying races, and every time they finish a race, they pull out a different Yu-Gi-Oh card. That kid is so sick. I'm so proud of it. Have you seen this kid?
He's doing it before the race starts. He's on the starting line doing his stretches, and they the camera will come around, and he pulls out a Yu-Gi-Oh card. He's assembling Exodia right now. He's like 3 pieces in.
And then he fucking wins the race every time. It's so
absolutely
good.
Wild. It's so fun. I love watching the U.S. athletes. I don't like watching anything else the U.S. does, but I do like watching the U.S. athletes. They're all great.
Did you enjoy watching Joseph Robinette Biden look like a man who was lost in a Denny's on the television?
It really was.
I did not like watching 2 very old men attempt to stay up past 9 p.m. Like, that was very hard, you know? So I didn't watch it. I started it and I went, no, actually, I'm better than this. And I turned it off.
Yeah. Who told Biden to try and number all of his clever retorts? Because things that did not work include that. Because he was up there being 8,000 years old and confused. Mm-hmm. And he would start his answers with things like, number 2, ribbon candy. And it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And like, I mean, I would say just shut up, but
he can't just shut up.
He just, like, even when he wasn't talking, he looked like an ad for Alzheimer's medication. He was just kind of like staring in various different directions with like a vacant expression. You know, like, look upon my soft chin. I'm old. My eyes are watery. I'm old. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm like, the presidency is currently a committee. This man is pants shitting his day through the day. And like, what the fuck?
I mean, honestly, dude, like, okay, so historically, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like, usually the president is an office that like allows the American people to be sure that the country is going in a good direction, right? And like the opponent is someone who shows up to say that something is wrong. I think in this particular case, Trump is correct in pointing out that something is wrong with America, but he's not the answer. And the debate itself is largely just a cry for help. It's telling us, hey, we need to do something about this because this is the guy that's supposed to be telling us that everything's okay. And he is not okay. You know what I mean? America's not okay. Like, honestly, you got to find out what's going on your block. Figure out what your local elections are about. Call your state reps. Run for something if you can. Because Jesus Christ, this is the guy that's running. That's everything that's standing between us and, like, fascism, which is insane.
I mean, if people wanted to, like, say, like, I don't know, man, is there an easy way to chart this guy's cognitive decline? I'm like, yes. How about thousands of hours of footage over the last 4 years? Like, you know, like, we could see the guy give speeches from like his inauguration. We could see him debate, you know, Trump 4 years ago. Like it's very obvious that like whatever the fuck Grandpa Joe was 4 years ago, he's not that anymore. Like it's been a rough 4 years on Grandpa Joe. You know, 4 years ago he. Oh, go ahead.
We also know the presidency, like, generally is rough on people. Like, Obama grade, like 3 years in, really badly, you know? Like,
Yeah.
we know it's rough on people. Why are we putting up? Why this feels like elder abuse at this point, right? Like, am I crazy?
A little bit. I mean, what I mean to say, it is a little bit of elder abuse. Had to clarify my sentence. Jesus Christ.
Oh, and the thing is that like he's never been great. He's never been great.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Like, I
Yeah,
don't.
like,
No one is saying that. No one
Mm-mm.
is saying that here. We're just saying.
yeah,
We know this is all like we know this job specifically very dramatically ages people. So like, why the fuck are we doing this to old people?
yeah. It's like we left a jug of milk out in the sun for 4 hours. Like, you know what? We can put that in the fridge now. No, you can't. No, you can't. That jug. No, no. That has been out on the porch. It's 106 degrees outside. That milk is fucked.
Directly
Like,
in the sunlight too. Like, this is not a
directly.
covered porch situation.
No,
This is the direct sun.
direct sun, 106 degrees, 4 hours. You gotta throw that milk out. It's no good. It is no good. None. Oh. In fact, I would now like to propose a new candidate for president, which I think is better than both of our current offerings, which is jug of milk, which has been in the sun for 4 hours. Vote jug of milk, 2024.
Honestly, I really wish there was a scenario in which they would both lose. It's not possible. Like, that is not the world that we live in. But it would be really cool if we could just take a break for 4 years and try to find a actual presidential candidate. But like, I don't think we actually have any of those. Like, anyone that has like the requisite experience, the necessary connections, and like that could actually earn the blessing of maybe like the DNC, because they're the ones that actually hold the keys. So that's the crazier thing. Because I mean, there are obviously people who want to be president for sure, present day, that aren't Joe Biden. But the problem is the DNC is unwilling to entertain anyone besides Joe Biden at the moment, and it's because they can't ignore him. Like, God, I'm like half expecting that their plan is just to let like Biden like die in office so Kamala can take over. But I don't even know if that's a good idea either. I don't know what to do about this. At least at the national level. I know what I got to do here where I live, but like out there, it's a board that I can't really fathom at the moment.
We're really in. You got to start buying ostriches territory and fortify your your holdings. Also, if you're new to the show, and I don't know who those people are,
Eh.
in 2020 there was a recurring bit over several episodes, where we kind of jested. We did a little bit about it
It
being
was good.
post-apocalyptic, and there was ostrich warlords. Gotta have that ostrich meat. I'm like, man, we really are we're just fucking there. We're
I have
just
reclaimed
fucking
the
there.
northern lands and forest. That's what I did. I just became a fae creature and no one questioned it. It was great. Good news for my future character development.
Ayo.
God, hilarious.
Anyway,
we'll figure it out.
Actually, I did want to talk about something. I read a couple articles this past week, and one of which was this it was related to like this Substack newsletter by someone named Parker Malloy, and they were talking about this article that was published in 404 Media, how someone made a quote AI powered double quotation news end quote site that rips off original reporting. Like, they basically read articles that already exist on the internet and then rewrites them, like using like currently existing AI technologies, and like sets them up so that they're like SEO optimized. And it turns out that this fake website that they set up posts about 50 blog posts a day. And it only costs them. In fact, you know what? Let's do this because it's fun for a moment, and then it's going to be really sad. How much money do you think it costs to set up this website? has an output that is similar to that of like a fully functioning news website, but no writers, just like, you know, the AI bots. So I guess you could charge the subscription to like its balance sheet, but just to get it up and running, how much do you think?
Oh, it's going to be way too expensive.
Mm,
Because that's the thing about AI is it is an expensive boondoggle that tells you to put Elmer's glue on your grilled cheese sandwiches.
sure.
Um, I'm going to go ahead and say 5 million.
Okay. Tegan, you want to wager a guess?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna lowball it. Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna say 1.2 million.
Okay. So to get this AI powered news site up and running, we have two bids, one $5 million and another $1.2 million. And you are both going to be astonished that it cost a meager $365 to get this website up and running. It makes
Fuck
50
off.
right. It makes 50 blog posts a day that skims real news that already exists and then rewrites it and then posts it on the internet.
Oh no, that sounds bad.
It is terrible, actually. Oh my god! In fact, there is a quote from the actual article, because like the writer is a working journalist, and they actually work for media, and they've spun this up as a bit to see what it would cost and how powerful the technology appears to be. And they had this to say: "What I learned from this experiment is that flooding the internet with an infinite amount of what could pass for journalism is cheap and even easier than I imagined, as long as I don't respect the craft, my audience, or myself. I also learned that while AI has made all of this much easier, faster, and better, the advent of generative AI did not invent this practice. It's simply adding a vast infrastructure of tools and services built by companies like WordPress, Fiverr, and Google, designed to convert clicks to dollars at the expense of quality journalism and information, polluting the internet we all use and live in every day." It's just one piece of like a bit of the writing that I've been reading over the past week, and it's, you know, indicative of things that we kind of already know, right? That like the internet is being flooded by trash, and has become difficult to discern what is real and what isn't. Even like Jack, what's Jack's last name? The guy that made Twitter. Does anyone remember?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, he Hornsby. Dorsey, yes, Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey went on the record this past week saying that we won't be able to tell what's real and what's fake on the internet in about 5 years. Like that's how quickly
we're there now. We're there now.
It's definitely it's a mess, and it's going to get even harder to swim through. And one of the things that I remembered when I was learning about what the internet is and how it works is that the internet can be separated into like three large categories. One is the internet that we use most days, that is currently dominated by social media, what we call is the open internet, which is just like all you need to connect to another piece of the internet is an address. You just need to know where it is, and that's the end of it. And then there's another bit of the internet that we've talked about a little bit on this show, and maybe has been whispered about in corners of the internet that you probably don't want to hang out in, which is the dark web, which is a extremely private, password protected place of the internet where people intentionally hide their influence. Initially, it was for people who wanted a more anonymous internet, and has over time become a hotbed for like criminals and other dangerous people. But there is an intersection between those, which is arguably, I think, may end up being the largest part of the internet, which is what is called the deep web, which is something in between. It's a bit more accessible than the dark web because you don't need a special browser to get there, but websites are often like password protected or like locked. Like if you work for anyone that has a website that guards any sort of meaningful information, usually you'll have a website that is protected in some way like that, and it would be considered part of the deep web. And I'm wondering that if like the internet, or rather if the open internet is becoming flooded with like nonsense simply because it's available, there may be a good chance, or maybe it may be likely that people who are creating things on the internet or, spending their time on the internet may just start gating their communities, and the largest swath of the internet may end up becoming more like the deep web than the open web it is today.
I hate it so much.
Talk to me, Brian.
Okay, all right. So like, we're burning down. I mean, we're burning down humanity, but that's a different thing.
Okay.
But I guess we're using the internet to do it. So I don't know if maybe they're related. But anyway, so like, you have the internet, right?
Okay.
Which is the greatest tool ever created for sharing knowledge and connecting people. Full stop, right?
Fair.
And we are actively eradicating its usefulness as a tool because capitalism. If you go to the most commonly used search engine, a thing that most people don't really touch anymore, because they go to like the same 4 to 5 websites every day, if that. Like, most people are going to even spend time on things that you would call a website unless there's an available app, unless there's like some thing that wraps up that website experience into like a self-contained button on their phone. They're probably not even visiting the site. But like, you can't, like, the internet is actively hostile to learning now. If I want to go and learn something, then like, and I go to Google and I type in like thing I'd like to learn, then like my first page of results is going to be like a combination of sponsored garbage, right?
Sure.
Because Google prioritizes its ad sales above all else. And
Mm-hmm.
then after the sponsored garbage is going to be like a bunch of generative AI garbage, which automatically generates based on the keywords of my search and does not help me at all. And then after that is going to be a bunch of predatory ad-driven sites, which try to insist they have the answer to my question, but they don't, and they're just burying the answer no at the end of a long scroll, which requires me to see like a bunch of ads. Like, it's amazing. Like, if I actually want to know anything now, I use DuckDuckGo, because I know that if I use DuckDuckGo, I will at the very least see less of that.
Sure.
But like, the thing is that like, search engine weighting is, like, if that were the entirety of the problem, someone could like just become a billionaire today by like being like, ta-da, search engine that works. Actually, no, they couldn't become a billionaire today because people are at this point are so like entrenched in the way they use the internet that even if you like knock at the door and say, here's a working search engine, most people would be like, I do not care. I just go to Facebook. I have to yell at the guy on Facebook Marketplace.
I do want to say a couple of things.
Okay.
First, I think Google inadvertently became the closest thing to a public square on the internet, but Google has never made that promise to like anyone, like the world or otherwise. Like, they've always been an advertised revenue based like search engine, and that has simply just become a bigger part of their business because they have cornered a market. I truly believe that over time that will change, because like there are a lot of people that still want to learn things on the internet and people that are willing to share that information with people, and they're just like, it's probably going to take time, but it's people are realizing that Google is not the best tool on that journey anymore. And I don't know what it is yet. Like, I don't think there is a replacement yet. But I think the important detail here is that Google is never here for us. They were simply providing a service, but they weren't providing a service for us because we didn't pay them for it, if that makes sense. You know, like, as with like most tech conversations, if you're using something and it is free, you are often not the customer, you're the product. And like Google was essentially using the world's curiosity as a way to generate customers for like these ad agencies that would, you know, sell this information back business to business, whatever. We don't have to talk about that. That's a whole other podcast. But like, what I'm saying is that I feel like information is still being shared widely throughout the internet. I think there is more noise than there's ever been, and it makes it difficult for people to just jump in and find something, for sure. And there was a time when it wasn't exactly that way. I would also argue that there was probably less information to find directly on the internet. But I do think that as long as there are people who desire things on the internet, that we will ultimately find tools to serve those goals, or even make them ourselves at some point. Not everyone can be savvy, but like if someone makes it and it's on the internet, people can use it. Like that has been a fundamental truth of like the technology ever since. And I don't think the internet's really going anywhere. Like even if like tomorrow something happens, like one of the underwater like fiber optic cables separates us from like Europe or something, or like some electromagnetic occurrence like makes it so that Wi-Fi can no longer travel through the air. Everything that exists that is left of humanity will try their best to rebuild the internet. And maybe they won't get there in a generation or so, but like we've always been headed towards the internet since like fucking the Sumerians, man. Like I do think that it's a huge loss that Google is not interested in benefiting humanity as much as it's interested in increasing its stock price. But I don't think that's the end of us. That's what I'm saying.
I appreciate your optimism. I wish I could share it.
Fair enough.
There's so much right now of like one of the things that has me pessimistic are these sites who are like, oh wow, like because of the way Google currently rates search results, it's actually bad for our website to have a lot of information on it.
Yeah. Because it can't parse it all into a search. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like there are websites which are actively becoming less useful in order to be more searchable.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a common thing. And then another common thing is companies going like, oh wow, it sure does cost a lot to like maintain our website. So why don't we get rid of all of our old content, you know, in order to move back up the Google search results. And now we'll have, quote, dynamic results by engaging AI. It's
yeah.
There was the UK's Daily Mail, which is ostensibly still like a real news outlet, I guess, kind of, maybe, I don't know.
I guess kind of is probably the right one.
Ran an article in the last 7 days where they no shit said that like Natalie Portman, self-confessed cocaine user and alcoholic.
Oh, because they're referencing the Lonely Island like music video she did all those years ago. Yeah,
it was an AI generated article.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like so like Brian, honestly, because that's literally libel, right? So like the thing is that Natalie Portman's people is going to call the Daily Mail and they say, hey, you printed libel about me, I'm suing you. And they go to a court and the Daily Mail is going to say, hey, it was AI generated and we didn't know it was going to do that. That's not a real defense. Like these mistakes will cost them money. And if Natalie Portman's smart, which she is, I know that Harvard degree is not doing nothing. it's going to be a very expensive mistake for them. And hopefully other people will be deterred from making the same mistakes. Like that, at least in my eyes, is the system working.
Another thing I heard this week that like just made me go, "Oh God, no!" It
Okay.
is there is a thing that Spotify is launching.
Oh, right.
Um,
Yeah.
which terrible? There are two terrible things that Spotify is launching. One is AI generated um, um, playlists, and I'm just like, okay, okay, like why are we just, but why though? Why? Um, and then the second one is AI generated songs that they will slip into your playlists.
Yeah.
Yeah, do, do you like that?
No. And honestly, I expect to make that known to Spotify as often as I can. Jesus Christ.
Thought that the promise of the future was that we would make robots that do the manual labor so that way we can make art. And instead, we're trying to create robots to make art to force us all into manual labor.
Okay, hold on, Brian. Let's take a step back, okay? Because I know you've been using we a lot, and it's like it's not quite the royal we. It's more like the collective, like we as humanity. Correct me if I'm wrong. You and I are not doing this. I don't even think Tegan's doing it. Tegan, if you're in on this, we have to talk about some stuff. But like,
Rocky, I'm not in on anything ever. I don't know why you would expect that from me.
I'm just
Oh my God.
I'm just covering my bases here. That's all I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that I know you're saying we because you feel like humanity should be working together for good. And I agree that it should be, but I don't think it is. Like, I've heard that promise of the future, but in my experience, the future is not promised. Like, there is just some shit that will happen and we don't know what it's going to be. And like, our job is to respond to it. And we try to respond to it the best that we can. Like this, it's just now, instead of dealing with, say, things like natural disasters or like, meteors coming to the earth, it turns out the problem is that other people are doing some dumb shit because people have that kind of power now. Like, that's the kind of trade-off. The same way that like the internet and like technology has granted people the ability to compete with things like corporation, it means that they have the kind of power to cause these kinds of disasters. And
A dumb thing I saw earlier this week.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I was outside of the office building, which I have to go to 3 times a week
Fair
in
enough.
order for the mass corporation that I work for to
Mm-hmm.
get a tax rebate for number of asses and seats. But in the roundabout in front of the building, there was a car owned by the company Waymo, which is
Okay.
developing driverless car technology.
Mm-hmm.
And this car, operated by Waymo, was just going round and round and round the roundabout.
Okay.
It did not understand what to do.
Mm-hmm.
It did not. It was like beep boop beep boop. Do not understand how to exit situation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I sat there and I watched this car with no passenger in it just go around and around and around the roundabout
Mm-hmm.
for 15 fucking minutes.
Okay.
And it did not stop until a car which said Waymo on the side, which had a driver in it, showed up, got out of their car, their human car,
Mm-hmm.
with a laptop, and then I guess sent a signal to the driverless car,
Mm-hmm.
and then it stopped. then I guess they inputted something like a follow command or something, because then the driverless car followed the car with a human away. What the fuck? What the fuck?
I mean, Brian, honestly, I don't know. From my perspective, it's a little silly. Like, I agree that could have been potentially like dangerous, and at the very least, it's just like, the car that they're working on ran into an error. But I don't know. I feel like that mistake was going to happen somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, I think that one day that error is going to happen someplace, and like I'm glad it happened like that instead of with like a passenger in it, like out in production. You know?
So eager. We're so eager to like, like we're so eager to cut humans out of like various um like equations. Like, oh man, if I could just cut the person out of this, I'll make more money. Oh man, if I could just cut the person out of this, I'll make more money. Like, yeah, like it's like, man, can you imagine if we were developing this kind of like technology not under like the auspices of like capitalism, like so that way things can have proper like testing and lab development time. Instead, somebody out there's like, "Fuck it, we got to make a buck. Get this driverless car out, into operation as quickly as possible." Like Waymo cars are actively like picking up and dropping off passengers in the Phoenix metro area. Like they
Yeah.
they're the fact that there was not a passenger in that vehicle at that time was just dumb luck. Like there could totally have been somebody in the roundabout car, which I guess would have been kind of like, it kind of reminds me of the experience when I got stuck in the elevator that time.
Okay.
Only seems more dangerous. Because
Yes.
what am I gonna do? Just like sit in this thing until something gets worse, or do I try and tuck and roll? What the fuck?
I'd hope
Um,
you called someone, man.
yeah. Um, um, if you were in a Waymo car and it just starts to do the thing, please press the help me button. Oh, oh, oh. Um,
Hmm.
but back to the internet being terrible, because that's how we got here.
Well, sort
Um,
of. Yeah, internet's terrible right now.
right. My favorite part about like the broken internet is
Hmm.
we have these terrible sites which are useless to humans, and humans don't go to them anymore. And the
Hmm.
only people that go to these terrible websites, which are not helpful to humans anymore, are other robots who are designed to comment on and like create the appearance of web traffic. So it'll
Right.
be like beep boop, I'm a terrible website, and then like beep boop. Thank you for being such a good website. Like it's like, what if we destroyed the greatest resource in order to like make a monument to money? And like it's amazing. It's amazing.
I don't know, Brain. I'm just saying, in the long term, that shit's not going to work out. Like, that's a band-aid on a broken problem, and like it's just going to break in a way that's irreparable, and then we'll do something else, or like, I guess it'll continue to slide under the radar, and people won't go there. But I don't know, if people aren't going there, then like I don't think that's a place that like we really need to concern ourselves with, right? Like maybe there is someone who's like upkeeping the website for the bots to keep coming by because the ad revenue keeps coming in. But I don't know. I don't think that's where the culture is. I don't think that's where you and I or any of us would really be, right?
Sounds like a corporate money sink, and I don't think we need to care about that.
Yeah, they're
Frankly,
wasting their money.
let them waste their money on stupid shit. It's not like it's gonna come to us anyway.
Harder to disconnect when a lot of these sites are reliant upon AI, and AI is like the power drain that it is. When we look at like the power consumption of like
Mm-hmm.
running a regular website, a regular normal human website,
Mm-hmm.
versus something which is employing AI. Like I saw a comparison recently of um, the amount of power consumed by a Google search before Google started forcing generative AI to be part of every result versus after they started forcing generative AI to be part of every result.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the difference between like the power consumed between the two systems is like catastrophic. Like we are it is like I'm like I'm
I'd
and
like to see.
meanwhile,
Mm-hmm. Go
to
ahead.
bring it back to where we were earlier, we've got this old guy wandering around on the stage being like, I'm old. And like he can't even understand the problems represented by like AI power consumption.
Right.
He's wondering where all the bicycles with big wheels up front are.
I mean, yeah, but I guess like two things. One, while AI has like again the potential to be somewhat useful, like there isn't a good use case for it, right? And that's why they're doing shit like this. Like they're just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. And the fun thing about Google is that even if they've like even though they're trying to get ahead of like the generative AI like fad or whatever, they give up on shit all the time. And we already know that AI is expensive in terms of like power consumption and like development time and all this other shit. And so like I wouldn't be surprised if Google drops generative AI search in like a year. Sincerely. And like I guess the question there becomes what is the impact of like that power consumption over the course of that year and what can we do about it? But honestly, like I feel like a lot of this shit is just going to run its course. It's going to blow up by itself and they're going to quietly put it away and pretend that they never did it. And we can roast them for that specifically. But like again, it just feels like noise. It feels like shit that
to me,
go
it
ahead.
feels like we're watching a modern equivalent to when radium was in everything. You know? Radium was in everything. It caused a bunch of problems. They took it out of everything. We're just seeing the same thing. It's just AI.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's going to cause a bunch of problems. You're going to take it out of everything.
AI appears to do like stuff that's like remarkable, but it doesn't do anything real. It's not helpful to like anyone at all, really. Like there are some things that like it looks like maybe like an office environment. Like I've seen like people like draft like presentations and stuff with it but that's more of a problem of like CEOs needing everything to be like a slide deck. And like I don't know, I feel like that's the type of shit that's on its way out. Like it's gonna go kicking and screaming for sure. It's gonna be a mess whenever it actually falls apart. But like it feels like a lot of this is indicative of deeper problems that are like getting ready to fucking explode. And I feel like they were going to explode anyway, so I'm just waiting to see what we need to clean up, personally.
Honestly, I feel like everybody who has a good head on their shoulders is going to make it out of this just fine. You know? I don't know. I could be wrong.
Been wrong before. I was wrong about Trump. I'm still really mad about that, actually. But I wasn't paying attention to what was going on. So maybe there's that.
Now we're paying a lot of attention. So hopefully it's better.
Hopefully it's better. I mean, I'm not going to let this Project 2025 shit go through. So help me God. Like, it's going to be me or Project 2025. And that's on God. That's on Her Majesty, man. Like,
I continue to be appreciative of your optimism.
Yeah, well, you know, somebody's got to do it.
Here to help. Oh, man.
I mean, good news, though. There are video games.
There are video games. Man, I've been playing Final Fantasy 14. More things change.
No,
more things
really?
change.
No, really? You've been playing Final Fantasy 14? I had no idea.
Oh my God. Well, you know, there's a new expansion. We're not saving the world this time, but we can get to that. I want to tell you about something that actually broke in Final Fantasy 14. There is a large scale like encounter. It's like 24 like players or whatever, called Circus Tower. And nothing has been wrong with Circus Tower for about 10 years until the Dawn Trail patch went through. And it broke a particular boss. We're not entirely sure how, but it made it so that one of the bosses on the thing, Amon, he normally does an attack that freezes like a certain number of like teammates, but then puts like an iceberg around them. And then he'll cast a big spell called Curtain Call that will like do like this big explosion that will kill everyone that's not standing behind an iceberg. However, with this new patch, while your teammates still get frozen, there are no icebergs. And so if you do nothing, or rather, if you fail to kill the boss before curtain call goes off, it just kills everyone. And that's like, so like it made it so that a bunch of people just could not clear because there wasn't a way to like mitigate curtain call.
No.
But savvy players have devised a strategy. And what they decided to do is the characters that can resurrect other players, healers, they had a few healers die purposely before curtain call goes off. And as curtain call is being casted, they would cast like resurrection on those dead players so that they would resurrect during the animation that curtain call goes off. So that way, after curtain call, there is someone alive. And then the newly resurrected healers would resurrect enough people to like defeat or to finally kill the boss at the end of it. It's a new strategy, and ironically, it's a lot more fun than like, you know, the kind of cookie cutter encounter that we've had for the past like 10 years. And it was pretty cool. I had a good time doing it. We died, I think, a couple of times to it. I think it was like 2 times we wiped, and the 3rd time we got it. But like the day it came out, there were people who were just straight up giving up at like the dungeon. And then like I got cued into it, and I'm like, oh shit, I guess we got to figure this out. But you know, you just talk to the people around you, you devise a solution, and then we got through it. It worked.
I love it when new code breaks old code, but like new code breaks very old code. And then everyone's like, hang on, what the fuck happened here? And then you know there's some dev who's looking back at that old code going, this is full of silly string. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's all held up by like some furry that wrote a single like module like 10, 15 years ago or whatever.
Right, when they barely knew how to code themselves, and it just has like a written apology in the code. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing here either.
Yeah. Good times, honestly. And they put a new class out, Viper. You got 2 blades. So I'm out here with 2 swords. And it's cool as shit. It's weird that there's no cooldowns. Well, that's not true. There's like 2 abilities that have like a timer on them, like a 40-second and like a 2-minute. But like outside of that, like most of your abilities are just all conditional. Like you can't press this button until you press this button. You can't press this button until you've pressed these other 2, and so on and so forth. So it's like its play style is very like smooth, but it's really different. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I got to take it to like a real encounter. But it seems to do all the stuff that I want. Like it has positionals again, where like basically no one else in the game has fucking positionals anymore. And it has a very like streamlined playstyle that's based around like being in the right place at the right time and like figuring out how to get there. And that stuff's cool. You got a couple of dashes and shit. I'm having fun. We'll see what happens when the raid comes out like next month. See how that really feels. Also, there's gonna be like 1 billion Vipers, so like I have to be a really good one to like get into a group, or I have to play with randos, and I hate playing with randos. But maybe I'll make a group. I might do that. We'll just see what happens. But the current campaign, the new expansion, instead of like, because you know the last one we just like saved the galaxy or whatever from like a super crazy threat, but now you're just like on vacation in the wilds of Mexico, and there's like a tournament to choose a new king in this big multicultural country, and you're with the underdog, but you just saved the galaxy, so you'll probably win. And that's been fun. We did like a little bit of like haggling to like get a saddle so we can get an alpaca. I met a sentient piece of corn that apparently is a millennia old guardian of the region. And there was another thing. What was it? Oh, right. I helped a guy carry some ship cargo, and he rewarded me with some tacos al pastor, which just sounds like some shit that happened to me in real life. But whatever. Final Fantasy XIV remains good, even after all these years.
God, it really does. What a time.
Mm.
It's every time I hear a story about Final Fantasy XIV, it sounds like it's a delight.
I'm having fun. That's for sure. Oh, man. And I got into crafting. So now I got to get back into mentor, which is another thing, because like I just became a mentor at the end of the last expansion, but like my mentor status has been like put on hiatus because there's a new expansion. Because now there are new conditions. I have to get to level 100 with like all the classes, and then I have to complete a certain number of quests, and then I can be a mentor again. Hopefully, it goes a little bit faster than this time than last time.
They want you to be able to guide people through stuff. That tracks for me.
Mm. But it's now that like I have access to crafters, like because there were a bunch of things in like previous expansions that I would just get that I wouldn't know how to use. But it feels like the game like expected me to like become a crafter the whole time, because now I go into this new expansion and it's like, oh, there's this vendor that sells this like meat and like pineapple or whatever, and I'm like, oh wait, I can make the baby ingredients with my culinarian now. So now I have a bunch of like mezcal lying around. And it wasn't pineapple. They looked like pineapples, but it was agave. Yeah. Now I have mezcal lying around, and I have like roast meat that I can use for my culinarian. I got some skins that I was able to make into like the leather for like the level 91 leather stuff. And while I'm not on my home server because it's full, because there's a new expansion right now, whenever I do get back, I'll be able to sell a bunch of shit and make a bunch of money that I'll hopefully be able to carry into when I'm raiding and stuff.
Hang on. What do you mean? What do you mean you're not at home? What do you mean you're not on your home server? What does that mean?
Right. Sorry, that's important. So a few years back, they realized that during expansions, they obviously have a lot of people come back. That's why the queues like explode. Like when the early access started, because technically the expansions, well, it will be out by the time the show comes out, but like it came out, the early access happens the weekend before, so it started like on Friday at like 5 a.m. So when I tried to log in at Friday at 5 a.m., I was in a queue in a line behind 5,000 other people at like 5:01 a.m. because that's what it was. And I play on a really popular server because, like, you know, it's so that you get good queues and you can do like raids and stuff. But it was like last night, it was absolutely full. Like it wouldn't even let me enter a queue to get in eventually because it was full and there was no hope of anyone coming in. So what I needed to do was visit another server, which I had done on Saturday, and I wasn't on Gilgamesh. I was on Adamantois or Adamantois. I still don't know how to pronounce that actually. But that is a server in the same data center, but that became full on Saturday night also. So I needed to go to a different server on a different data center. So now I'm on Dynamis on a server named Seraph, which is relatively new. It was added for this expansion. So there aren't a lot of people there and there aren't a lot of characters. So I could just pop in. And like queues are similar to what they are back on the Gilgamesh. But since I'm not on my home server nor my home data center, I can't interface with my like free company. Like I could talk to them, but I don't get any of my buffs. And I can't talk to any of my retainers, which hold most of my gear and more importantly, sell things on the market boards for me. So like I'm stuck with just the equipment that I have on my back, as well as the amount of gil that I can personally carry. Luckily, the gil amount is like pretty high. You can get like one shy of 1 billion walking around in your pockets, but like I don't have that much anyway, so it's not a problem. But inventory space may become an issue in like a week or so. We'll see what happens.
Wild.
Hmm.
Well, at least they let you do that, I guess. You know?
Yeah. It became a necessity after like actually I think like during Shadowbringers. Like they made it so Shadowbringers introduced the ability to like world visit, where you could visit other people on other like servers within the same data center. But in Endwalker, they made it so you could actually hop data centers. And so like the tech is possible. It just means that like there are certain things that you just don't have access to. Like I don't have access to my own retainers, and they don't let you sell things on other servers because that could get really dangerous, honestly.
Yeah, they don't want you messing up every other server's economy. That makes sense.
Right. So like you just can't sell things on the market board. You can interact with like retainers and stuff, and you can get things from other places. But everything's instanced, and there isn't like, even when you like when you're like gathering resources or whatever, like when you interact with a node, it doesn't remove the node for other people even on the same server, even in the same instance. So like there is no like limited inventory, but there are some things that you can get with like better queues. Like you could see like people do like fights or trials or bosses where they have very valuable drops and then take them to servers where like the queue times aren't as good, but they won't let you do that either. Like you can't sell anything there. It's fine. It seems pretty well thought out. It's been working so far. They've definitely avoided a lot of the common pitfalls that you see with these types of things.
Good for them.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Teagues, how are you preparing for playable Zelda?
I'm not. I'm simply unprepared. Actually, when I saw the trailer, you were listening to me live because I was watching it and trying to not fucking die in Minecraft. I made some inhuman noise and I was just like, this thing. No, wait, this game. And then I was like, Zelda! Like that was it. That was like I think the last sound I made, and then I was just like, I can't. Shut up, everybody! I have to process. It was so silly. I'm excited. I think and I'm gonna say this with my full chest now on the podcast because I believe it with my whole heart. I believe this is a test of if Zelda is marketable as a playable character.
That makes sense.
I think they want to see if people will show up for Zelda-driven games instead of Zelda rescue games. And I think that's why they're doing it using the Link's Awakening remake art in A Link to the Past, which is a lot of people's favorite Zelda world, but with like a short, like 12 to 15 hour max experience. You know? And I hope it does well because it sounds to me like just from this that they have a story they'd like to tell where Zelda is the protagonist, but they're not sure people will show up for that. So kind of like with Princess Peach Showtime where it's like, do people still want Princess Peach games? Even though that was only like 8-ish hours? 10-ish hours. I think it's very much like a similar thing where they're like, let's do a shorter game and then see how it goes. You know? I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be silly. I think it'll be fun. I don't think it'll be that deep, and I don't think it'll have any super crazy lore implications, but you never know. So, there's that.
Fair enough.
But I'm looking forward to it.
Hell yeah.
Maybe, like, in another 30 years, right? Maybe I'll be in my 70s, right? And I'll get to see the first game where we have actually a playable Ganon. That could be sick. You know?
Honestly, if this goes well, I could see a playable Ganon in 5 years.
If this goes well, though.
Playable Ganon. I said hashtag playable Ganon. Come sign our petition at playableganon.com.
No, not like that. I just think it's like the next stage. People want to see there is a group of fans, just like there's always been a group of fans who want Zelda as a playable character because they think Zelda would be cool. Like they're getting Zelda as a playable character, but they're not getting Zelda as a playable character the way they thought they would. She's not using her own magic abilities. She's not doing any of the ninja shit that she could do in any of the games that she's got Sheikah training. Like it's not that kind of game. She's getting a whole new power set that's outside of her own personhood, which isn't the game people asked for, but it's the game they're getting, so they're going to do it, you know? I think there is another group of people who wants a playable Ganon game, but it's where Ganon isn't evil. You know? Something else is going on. And I think that could be really cool also. But I don't think they're going to do it in like 5 years. I don't think they're ready to do that.
Fair enough.
Could be
We're
fun.
barely playing tennis with Bowser, you know? Like, it just...
Tennis with Bowser, when did that happen? That was like 10. No, hold on. First Mario game. Help me out here. Super Mario Bros. NES. Was that like 87? Or am I wrong about that?
84 Japan, 85 US.
Thank you. And so, like, what? 11 years later? Because wasn't like Mario Tennis N64 like 97?
Well, if we're looking for playable Bowser, I guess, predates tennis, which is Mario Kart.
Fair.
Yeah.
Mario Tennis was 2000 anyways. Yeah, SNES Mario Kart was 92 and then re-released in 96 as a player choice title. So look, you know, they did playable Bowser 5 years later, but they were also all in on like the kind of like the adventures are like a production as opposed to like real lore implications, really.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a different vibe.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
a
don't
little
know.
different from how like the Zelda series has structured itself, but like
Mhm.
it's still cool. Technically, like if you're going by that logic, like we've had playable Zelda and playable Ganon since like Melee, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But like that's not the same.
It's not the
Yeah,
same.
yeah. And I guess I was taking that was actually the point that I guess I was trying to wind way too slowly towards. Um, which is that, like, we still haven't had a game where we are properly Bowsering, you know, where we're out there doing, you know, like, Bowser bullshit, like you know, we could drive a little car as Bowser, we could play tennis as Bowser, we
Uh
could punch, we
I
could
do want
punch
to
people as
mention
Bowser.
both Super Paper Mario and wait, there was another. I guess Mario and Luigi Paper Jam's not the biggest one, but like I think you did actually play as Bowser and did Bowser things because Bowser wasn't like the true enemy there. And
Don't you have Bowser on your team in Super Mario RPG also?
yeah, that's true.
I feel like they're not inherently opposed to having Bowser as like playable, just like he can't be the main experience.
And
Does that
that's
make
still
sense?
fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
that hasn't happened yet. Trying to think. There was a paper title where like Bowser did stuff outside of Super Paper Mario. Because Super Paper Mario, like Bowser was just straight up a character that did the platforming shit. And he wasn't like lesser to like Mario, Luigi, Peach at all. Like they were just interchangeable characters. They would swap around and whatnot, and you'd use them to solve particular issues. But I don't think they've had like a Bowser focused game. I'm thinking there might be something else in the Mario and Luigi series. It's not Bowser Inside Story, obviously, because he's more of like set piece than he is character. But I could have sworn there was another one. I'm super spacing on it. But it's in that like Mario Luigi / like it's in the Mario RPG space. And I know it's not just Super Mario RPG.
It's one of the turn-based Mario games.
Yeah, I think so.
I could see Nintendo doing a platformer, but not as Bowser. I could see them doing it as Bowser Jr.
I think Bowser Jr.
I could see like a
game at this point.
Bowser Jr. Rescue My Dad game, you know? I think that'd be really cute.
I think it definitely sell that. Jesus Christ.
Bowser's Fury, like, oh man, I love
Mhm.
the weird team up of Mario plus Bowser Jr., who's like, something's happened to my dad. He's fucked. You know,
Yeah. That was really
uh,
cute.
yeah. Um, man, also just toss again to Bowser's Fury. Like, what a cool fucking idea. Like, yeah, here you go. open world Mario, baby. It's just one giant fucking map. Go. Like, Jesus. Like, being able to see, like, one, like, platforming environment from another platforming environment. I'm just trying to picture being able to, like, see, um, like, the ghost house from the top of the mountain after I throw off King Bob in Mario 64, and like how much I would love shit like that. But like
Mm.
Bowser's Fury was just so cool. Like
Oh yeah.
open world Mario. Like I contend it is. Tiki, you were talking about how like Nintendo teases out ideas, and this is the thing they say that they do by their intermission, teases out like ideas in smaller games before they like roll
Mm-hmm.
them out to bigger games. And like Bowser's Fury was like a small contained Mario experience. It was like here's like an 8-hour Mario game. Like I am fucking ready for the
Mm-hmm.
full size open world Mario game. Like give
And
it to
like
me.
it did really well, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The reviews were really good for that. So I would not be surprised if like the next major Mario, the next like equivalent to like Super Mario Odyssey or whatever. I forgot the name. I was gonna say Super Mario Hats Off to You or whatever. The next that level game is like an open world Mario game. You know?
Plus like the whole like Mega Bowser thing from Bowser's Fury like effectively made Bowser terrifying again because it's like, yeah, asteroids are raining from the sky. He's fucking gigantic. There's like, oh my god, like there was shit you had to do in order to be like ready yourself for the like periodic Bowser's arriving event in Bowser's
Mm-hmm.
Fury. Like, so
Mm-hmm.
cool. What a cool fucking game.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the future of gaming is going to be good. It's just we gotta get there, and part of getting there is through these smaller experiences that people may not necessarily be excited for, but should be hyped because it tells you about the things that they're thinking about doing in bigger games. You know,
Mm. True.
you just gotta look at it. But
I had to
yeah,
buy so many games this fucking fall. God damn it.
I know
It's gonna be fun though.
my wallet will be empty forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be wild. Can't wait to hear about maybe a Switch 2 eventually. Maybe
You know
not
what?
the holiday. I thought for sure we were going to get a little like, hey, we'll talk about the Switch 2 2025 or something, but they didn't do that. The only thing they did in that Nintendo Direct was go, Metroid Prime 4 is officially coming out with a name, with a title even, woo, in 2025. And that looked very nice. That was
I've done
not a
this before.
Switch.
I think I know I have done
Mm-hmm.
on this show before is
Okay.
to remind everybody
Mm-hmm.
of the timeline the last time we had a new Nintendo console, which was September. Nintendo made its first acknowledgement to a customer-facing public of the existence of the new console. Like
Sure.
at that point, they had already like acknowledged the existence to like stockholders in earnings share meetings, which is where we are now. They have
Mm-hmm.
acknowledged the existence of the new console in earnings calls. We're just like they're like our next console offering, our next product offering. So they announced to customers that the thing existed in September.
Mm-hmm.
And then in November, they put out a single promotional image of Mario standing behind a curtain, peeking out in front of it. And they're like, we will tell you more about the new thing in January. And
Mm-hmm.
then in the first week of January, they had a live show from Japan where they like detailed what the Switch does, and they talked about some of its launch titles. And then the thing came out in fucking March. But like the gap of time between when we saw the thing for the first time, to had it in our grubby little paws, was January to March. Like there was
That's so
not that
short.
kind of like significant ramp that like exists generally with like Microsoft and Sony. And like, and if we walk it back to like they told us like when they would tell us things in November, and they acknowledged its existence in September. And so like based on like the 2025 like timeline, which and one of the things which they have said both
Mhm.
to their partner developers and to shareholders, is the reason it is launching in 2025 and not 2024 is because they want to launch with like adequate inventory. They do
Mhm.
not want to launch with like a product bottleneck. They do not want they basically don't want the launch to go like the launch of the PS5 or the Xbox Series X,
Sure. Yeah.
where people are like, I'd like to buy a PlayStation, and there's just a sign up at Best Buy that says "Get horse fucked."
Mhm.
Like they don't want that, and like they're already like functioning an advantage because we know like the way that that they approach uh like hardware power is that they build at this point deliberately underpowered machines because Nintendo like does not believe that their consoles should be loss leaders. Like the consoles themselves should represent a profit. And also like it means that it's easier to source the materials. Um, so like my guess is that we're going to see the same timeline.
I mean, they
Is
have
that like
already acknowledged the Switch's successor to the public, because they said specifically in this direct, there will not be any news about the Switch's successor. Like in the tweet that was like, Nintendo Direct on this day, blah, 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 blah. There will not be any news about the Switch's successor. So, like, they've already acknowledged it exists to us. So, does that bump your timeline up at all?
I would my guess is that we're going to launch in March. Like, March is a sweet spot for them because it means that they get to get that like gigantic bump in revenue before the end of the fiscal year, which closes at the end of March, which is why I picked March last time for the Switch. Um, I think that like right now they're leaning back on news because they want to like they're not really going out with like uh, a whimper on the Switch. Like the Switch has a decent lineup for this coming holiday season. Um, so I think that they're leaning back on news right now because they want to try and capture as much revenue as possible. With the Switch's like final Christmas. And I think that what's going to happen is that we're going to get a similar event in January, which what we're going to hear um, that that the new Metroid Prime game is going to essentially like do the same thing as um,
Breath of
Metroid
the
Breath of the
Prime
Wild.
Now.
Wild did. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and is
Launch
going to
title.
like straddle generations where there were Wii U Breath of the Wild copies, which represented like much smaller percentage of the overall like sold copy, sell through copies in Switch Breath of the Wild. But I think that like we're going to hear that like Metroid Prime 4 is going to launch with the Switch 2 in March, which will rock everybody because they have played it so close to the vest with that game. And then I think that what we will likely also see is like new full Mario um, for like Christmas 2025.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I guess then the question becomes like, I have no interest in Metroid Prime as a series. I'm just not into like Doom, but not, you know? Um, so I don't know if I'll pick a Switch 2 up at launch, but should I anyway?
Well, what are you gonna play on it?
I don't know. I mean, if it's backwards compatible, I'll play my regular games just on the new Switch instead of the old Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it'll be there for 3-2-1 Switch 2.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I could always get 3-2-1 Switch 2.
You know, we can milk those cows again.
Okay, that was fun for a first game.
But like,
I thought it was
I'm certain there will be like launch stuff which is not Metroid Prime 4. You know, like, and there's always stuff which is like does well at launch because it is a launch title. Like one thing is for certain is that like remember like Gamal has said it several times is that a significant percentage of Ubisoft's business model is having titles prepared for a console's launch. So which they have held true to. Like they always show the fuck up to whenever like something launches. So like there'll be something from Ubisoft for the launch of the Switch 2. Whether it is Mario plus Rabbids, or it is a port of something which like generally has been on like Xbox or PlayStation, you know, we'll see. Like we know like how strong, we know how powerful the Switch 2 is approximately. That the thing is like in the neighborhood of it's a little bit more powerful than a PS4. And of course people are like, what the fuck? That sounds so weak. I'm like, y'all, Nintendo
That
has been
sounds
eating
really
everybody's
strong
lunch
for
with it.
Nintendo.
Yeah, like
What?
I was gonna say they've been eating everybody's lunch with a 7-year-old Android tablet at this point. Like, shut up. Come on. The the uh like where Nintendo's like strict is that they understand that getting into a horsepower race is just creating stuff which is like, you know, financially unsupportable. So like I'm not too worried about like, you know, it being like that powerful. What I my guess is that like one of the things we'll see from Ubisoft is like a port of like a Assassin's Creed game that like did well on that platform. Um, like whether it's like Odyssey or Origins, you know, like something like that. Like it's like check it out, like or maybe you know Valhalla, like we'll probably see like some Assassin's Creed game, maybe Mario plus Rabbids, like doing like a Mario plus Rabbids like collection report, something like that. Maybe a remaster with additional content. Uh, plus something else which like Nintendo has really carved out for themselves over the last 7 years is they've gotten to a position where they are like very fully not reliant on like major third party publishers to support their third party space. They've kind of become like Valve, which is like where they're like primarily supported by independent publishers. Um, and I could see them launching with like high profile independently developed video games. Um, like that's a thing which is certainly could see. Like what's that like? I'm trying to think of it. There's some game which everybody's like always looking for at the direct. They're like, is there any news on this time?
Or like
Uh,
Xenoblade and stuff.
it's an indie title.
Oh, Silk
Um,
Song.
Oh
that's the one.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
yeah. I could see Silk Song being one of those things where like Nintendo's like, okay, look, like because something which Nintendo has done before with indie developers is provide them development resources
It's true.
if it like will meet their objectives.
Hmm.
And I could totally see Nintendo being like, okay, what do you need to have this thing done for March 2025?
What do
Um,
you need to have this thing done and also on our console as a timed exclusive launch? Could be fun.
Yeah, so like my guess is that like launch is going to be Metroid Prime 4, some other weird doofy thing from Nintendo, and that is not meant to be derogatory. Jesus.
Mhm.
Um,
Something
yeah,
something weird that's like what is it? Astro's Playroom or whatever that the PlayStation does that like just shows off the features of the Switch, you know?
right. Yeah, like Astro's Playroom or like 321 Switch, which are just basically like hardware tech demos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, plus like a Ubisoft title or two, um, and uh, independent stuff. Like something which I think is neat, and I've got my fingers crossed for, and I'm hopeful for, is that at that power threshold, that means it is possible now for a Nintendo console to not have to run Hitman out of the cloud. So,
Yeah, fair.
Oh
yeah,
my god,
and
Kingdom Hearts too.
Mm-hmm. Oh god,
yeah,
they did just put all of Kingdom Hearts on Steam like a couple
yeah.
weeks ago.
Hey Rocky,
Yeah,
I have a Final Fantasy 14 question right now.
sure. What's up?
Does Final Fantasy 14 run on PS4?
Yeah, that's
Amazing.
actually where I've played it the most, if I'm being honest.
Amazing.
The load times are a little rougher now, and I think with Dawn Trail, they're trying to get more people to move over to PS5, but it still runs there.
Okay. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I have no doubt, Tegan, that there will be stuff for you at launch.
That's fair, but like I'm wondering if I should leave the launch for someone who's going to get more out of it. You know?
Well, they're working very hard to make sure that that's not a concern. Like they're trying to avoid like bottlenecks and all that. Like
Mhm.
I get their like reservation spots or whatever, but like the supply is they're working to make sure that the supply is available for whoever does want it.
That's fair. I think okay, if they launch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um on the Switch 2's eShop immediately, right? You know how they have like some stuff on the eShop all the time? Even at like the very beginning, they had stuff on the eShop. What if they launched with GameCube Animal Crossing, where the villagers are still mean?
Could be godlike, but that would be a smart business decision. I don't know if they'd swing on that right away.
Right.
I think it will be a cold day in hell before we ever see GameCube Animal Crossing again.
Ah, but they're mean. Everybody loves the mean villagers.
Like, there's the mean villagers. There's stuff which is just like, if you don't do this when in the like very narrow window it's possible, then like you're fucked and it's gone forever. And also from GameCube Animal Crossing, um, just playing NES games within the game that you didn't have to like subscribe to some other service to do. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, like decorating your house with a little NES and playing Mario Brothers. I was like, oh no,
Play a
now we won't
balloon
do this.
fight.
Yeah. So I don't. I doubt we will ever see GameCube Animal Crossing again for all those reasons.
Hmm.
Could be sick though.
I just want Pelly to come back. I miss Pelly. She was nice. And I liked having Pete. It doesn't
Pete
have
was
to be Pelly and Pete. I just like the Pelican mail delivery. I think it's fun.
Wait, don't they run like the airport now? I guess they run the airport
No,
already.
the dodos run the airport.
Oh shit, they
Which
are
is
donuts, aren't they?
so silly. The extinct bird runs the dangerous form of transportation. Thumbs up.
Well, that's how it happened, I guess.
Mm-hmm. There's gonna be a new Animal Crossing, right? Like, there's gonna be one eventually.
Probably.
Maybe not year
Yeah.
1, maybe year 3, but like, it's gonna be there.
I mean, it's likely. It'd be weird if it wasn't.
Oh, yeah, no, like at this point, like Animal Crossing is like I want to say like comfortably like their number 3 franchise.
Mm.
The amount of copies that thing sold on Switch is just fucking stupid. So like, yeah, that's gonna happen again.
I mean, it also did luck out that like Animal Crossing came out at the beginning of lockdown. So I don't know that it's like, I think they should hedge themselves a little bit, you know?
You know what?
But
I forgot.
also like the attachment rate there is pretty significant.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's something which like there's a really interesting number about the Switch, which is that the Switch is the console which has the most titles which have sold more than 10 million copies of a game.
Mm.
Like that, like, and you start to like work your way through other consoles, and look at history of game sales. Those numbers drop off pretty quickly, and the Switch has had 10 games sell 10 million or more, and like that's wild.
Mm.
Um, and um, Animal Crossing has placed in the top 5 of overall like Switch attachment rate, which
Mhm.
is ridiculous. The number 1 game as far as Switch attachment rate
It's Mario Kart.
remains Mario Kart.
Yeah.
God damn.
I mean, that stuff makes sense to me, right? Like, video games are largely social experiences. Like, I mean, obviously, like, not personally, I play a lot of like stuff that I play by myself in the dark, alone, away from people. But a lot of people play video games as social experiences, and like very well polished, good social experiences obviously sell more copies because there's more people to sell them to.
Uh, and Mario Kart 8 is probably the closest that Nintendo has ever gotten to a like live services game. Um, because they were like, look, if you subscribe to our bullshit extra pass, if you get the bullshit extra pass, which also will get you like N64 games and such, then also you're gonna get like a bunch of like new tracks for Mario Kart 8 like drip fed to you, and
Brandon, I
people
feel
like,
like you're
well,
skipping over Smash Ultimate here because like Fighter Pass was a going concern for like. I mean, obviously Mario Kart 8 has outlasted it because Sakurai tapped out or whatever. But like every other direct was having people wondering which new characters they're going to add to Smash with the Fighter Pass, with a new Fighter Pass or whatever.
They finally added Sora Kingdom Hearts, and then he was like, I'm done. That's it. No more characters. I'm not doing a single meeting again.
I wish he had worn the shirt that Harada wore at that one Tekken conference where he was just like, "Don't ask me for shit." But like, I don't think he could do that. I don't think Sakurai would have gotten away with it.
I also don't know if Sakurai would have gotten away with it, but he deserves it, you know?
Yeah.
He should have worn like an angry Kirby shirt. Just like the really pissed off one, you know, with the flames. That one.
He could have worn that. I would have made it a button down. I would have made it myself. I would have sewn it with my hands.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves it. Brand, I'm sorry for interrupting.
oh no worries. But what I will say is that like there's things that we know that will not happen on this new Nintendo console, so I'll just go ahead and I'll tell our listeners you can go ahead and get used to these ideas now. Like number 1, do not think that you're going to buy this console and just have some kind of like store where you can like a la carte just go buy GameCube games.
Yeah,
Like
probably not.
it's not like Nintendo is still not going to do that. Nintendo is still weird about its back catalog.
Mm.
Um, and that just because something has like the technological capability of doing a thing does not mean that Nintendo will do it. Continue to expect to see like the way that they like um, put up old games as part of their online service to be like weird, small, and curated. So I like do not hope for to be waist deep in SNES games. You're not gonna be. Um, Also, of the announcements that are going to happen, related to the launch of this console, there'll be some surprises. There'll be some neat stuff, but do not expect them to say we've localized Mother 3. Uh, that will never happen. They're never going to localize Mother 3. It will never ever happen.
Actually, I think I
Um,
saw something the other day where these people were like doing like a fan like direct. They called it a Mother Direct, and they were talking about a couple of like Mother like universe like games that people are making, but also like the next iteration of the fan translation. I forget if they've already aired it or not, but I saw an announcement for it last week. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. So I'd love to see if they actually decide to swing and say, "Hey, yeah, we're making a Mother 3 translation available in X place." But who knows? We'll see what happens.
and this one's mainly for me. I will never ever get another Eternal Darkness game.
Oh,
Uh,
I would. It'll be like 25 years, but it'll happen.
you are full of amazing optimism today, Rocky.
Oh my god! You know what? Tegan, remind me. Like I'm gonna say it out loud, so Brian's not gonna believe me anyways. But we're gonna find someone to make an Eternal Darkness game for Brian,
Okay.
and like we'll just have a build, and then he can play it, and then we won't tell anyone else about it.
Yeah, it'll be a secret.
Mhm.
Secret game for our friend. I personally am looking forward to Nintendo getting more dating sims. I just would like them to curate the list a little better.
That's fair.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm not mad about them. I just wish the list were a little more curated. If they could do that.
Everyone just kind of throws their own like.
I'm tired of dating the same 5 samurai boys. I'd like a little more variety, please. I'd like to date some college students. As a college student, I'd like the office dating sim where you're dating people who work in and around your office building. I'd like that one.
Actually,
I'd like
work things. Some I had notes around somewhere.
Yeah, right. There's a couple of them. I'd like some of those anime based dating sims. But aren't necessarily the reverse harem anime dating sims. Like just because I'm a girl playing a dating sim doesn't mean I always want to date girls, you know? Like sometimes I always want to date boys. Sometimes I'd like to date the girls because the girls' reactions are just cuter. And a lot of times the girls aren't weird, creepy assholes as part of their like inherent plots. I'd like that. Thanks. You know? And also more the ones where it just ends where they hold their hands or they kiss. I don't need to see everything. Thanks. I can leave some things to the imagination. Doesn't always have to be, rated mature. It could be rated teen. That'd be fine. I don't know. That's it. Those are my requests. I feel like they're pretty reasonable.
For sure. Oh man, I forgot Nintendo actually patented the sanity thing. That is right. Brian, we're gonna get you in the Bloodborne. No, we're not. Maybe we will. That's another podcast. That's a whole other thing. What else do we have to do? What's going on?
I don't think we have to do anything.
Yeah, that's fair. How are you feeling, Teeks?
I just want everyone to know that I'm being so brave in Minecraft.
It's true.
I'm exploring things now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not always wearing armor
It's
because I'm
true.
an idiot, but it's happening. I'm being
I
so
mean,
brave.
You don't have to always wear armor. You just got to be quick about it.
Yeah, you just gotta be fast, and I can be fast.
Mm.
Oh, also, I'm gonna do a plug if that's cool.
Okay.
This weekend, this show goes up on the 4th. This weekend, as you are listening to the show, Rocky and I are both guesting on Raglan's 4th year streamiversary stream. Rocky's gonna be playing Jackbox. I'm gonna be playing Phasmophobia, and I'm gonna scream and cry and throw up because I haven't played Phasmophobia at all before. So, if you want to come watch me be a little chicken, do that.
Mm.
We'll be posting about it, I'm sure. At least in the Discord.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But yeah, that's it. That's the last thing I wanted to do.
All right. Brian, you want to do the outro?
Wait, is that the thing where we tell them the stuff?
Yeah, that's the thing where we tell them where to find us and the stuff and the things and to leave reviews and whatever.
Yeah.
No, I'm not prepared.
Okay.
Emotionally, mentally, or physically?
Pick one.
All right, well, everyone, this has been our show. This is the Impossible Coin Podcast. You probably know you can find this wherever podcasts are found. Tell a friend, I guess. We're back. Let's go.
Thanks for hanging out during our hiatus. We appreciate it. We were very busy.
It's true.
Some of us are still busy, but it's okay.
But yeah, I do want to shout out, the newly married man, Big Sach, who made our theme. You can find his work at sound.com/Big Sach NJ, but he also is on Bandcamp with his band betweenrooms.bandcamp.com. Maybe he has another place. We probably need to talk to him again, just ask about it. If he's still on Twitter, you can find him at Illyry_Swank. I don't know if he's anywhere else, but we can talk to him about it. No big deal. Our logo, as always, was still designed by Laura Moran because it happened in the past. You can follow her on Twitter or Blue Sky at Laura Moran and consider donating to her Patreon because she does great shit. We are on social media. It's all Impossible Coin, no dashes, underscores, or X's or anything like that. If you see anyone like that, please let us know. But I think we've been good about it. You guys have done a great job. We are not active on Patreon right now because of the hiatus. I don't think I'll change immediately, but we'll let you know if anything else happens. And we're pretty active on Twitch. Most days you can find either myself or Miss Somerset at twitch.tv/Impossible Coin during the evenings. I am going to be spending the foreseeable future wrapping up Unicorn Overlord / playing the new Final Fantasy 14 expansion. I'm pretty sure Tegan is going to continue leading the way on Minecraft and with the Horizon games until the new playable Zelda is now playable for the public. And Brian, I don't know if you're still playing Hearthstone, but I hope that's going well for you. I hope you're on your way to Legend and whatnot.
You know what? Fine. I guess this is how I didn't bring up Hearthstone because I thought that nobody cared.
Yeah, I know.
So here's where I'm at.
Okay.
I am high diamond. I continue to be high diamond.
Okay. Yeah.
And like it was very frustrating.
Yeah.
Because at this point, like there is literally nothing in between me. Like there's no more ranks in between me and Legend. It's just like you break out a diamond, you're there. And
yeah,
and I'm gonna be real. I've been taking a lot of L's recently.
Oh no!
It's like that.
I'm not talking about Hearthstone. I'm talking about in life.
Fair. Fuck.
I'm taking a lot of L's. So I should tell you what, universe, I could use this one.
Yeah.
I've been playing this fucking game for 10 years. 10 years. Like
Count 'em.
there is currently like a Hearthstone anniversary event going on. There is a card out where the innkeeper gives you his battle cry is replaces your hand with a famous hand from the game's history. You're like, oh, yeah, he just fills your hand with the way you got fucked over the last 10 years.
Amazing.
Amazing. So now you can do the fucking. Um, you know, and like they've given him like new like greetings when you launch the game up, and he's like, oh, it wouldn't be a celebration without you here. Or like, oh, what's an anniversary without you, friend? They're like, oh, fuck off. You know, just give me Legend. Universe, give me Legend. I need this. I need this one. I need it. New expansion launches in July. The premise of the expansion is it is vacation themed.
Okay.
And each and there is a new legendary for each class with the keyword tourist.
For sure.
And if you put the legendary with the keyword tourist into your deck, then that allows you to play the cards from that expansion for another class for which that card is a tourist for.
That's
So
fair.
so for example, like the new Death Knight legendary is a shaman tourist, which means that if you put that card into your deck, you can play the shaman cards from that expansion in the deck. And I'm like, oh man, this is going to lead to all kinds of sick and gross bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking forward to some of it. There's also like this premise where um, you can like make like mixed drinks, essentially, which are like customized spells. Because like you gotta have your beach drink for your vacation
I always thought
expansion.
drinks is customized spells. That makes sense to me. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. Also, once again, the hardest time to fucking ladder is really right after an expansion launches because
Yeah.
everything's Wild West and you have no idea what the fuck anybody is doing.
Mm.
Um, so who knows? Yeah, I'm still doing that. And really, here's one for in case anybody cares. I know they don't. I'm still playing fucking Kitten Match.
Yeah. They, you
Nobody
still
saw
laughing
that
at the
one coming.
hooks? Are any of them? Have anyone caught you yet?
No, man, fuck them, man.
Oh man, I still think there's potential in Kid and Match Widow as like a script. I sincerely do believe that. I don't.
Yeah. I'm here. I am here for Kitten Match Widow.
I mean, it's obviously a bit character that, like, Morgan Martindale might do, but like, I feel like we could hang a whole movie on it. That's what I'm saying.
Yes. Of course, the temptation to just cast Will Arnett is now huge.
Shout out to Will Arnett. He found a way, right? Like he looked like he was not gonna do it, but he figured something out. Oh
What
man.
if I was a cartoon horse?
No, but he took it seriously, right? Like he could have phoned that shit in and then they went for it, Like fuck, man.
Man, that show will tear your fucking heart. Again, if you were to say to somebody like, yeah, the show about a cartoon horse will tear your fucking heart out.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, come on. I'm like, no, really. Like, I like, there have been times I've been watching that show,
Yeah.
sobbing and consoling, going, my childhood was in prison. Thank you for letting me know, cartoon horse.
What a time to be alive.
Oh my god, fucking cartoon horse. I don't know. Yeah, Hearthstone exists. I think that's what we needed. You said something, and you're like, I don't know if you're still doing Hearthstone, and I'm like, yeah.
Well, I was hoping that you were doing well, and it looks like you're on the cusp of something great. I believe in you.
Oh God, yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. High diamond, baby.
Honestly, dude, I sat in like silver 1, 2, like high silver 2, low silver 1 for like 8 months. That year I was trying to get to gold. I was really mad about it. But you know, one day I broke through. That was it. And then I was free.
I just want to, like, of course, like, I still hang out at, like, hearthpwn.com,
True.
reading the forums, discussing the tech, and, like, there was this guy who logged on, and he gave me strong Rocky Hardy vibes,
Yeah.
and he's like, look, I just made Legend for the first time, and I gotta tell you, I'm crying, and I think I'm done now. I think I'm done. I got Legend.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna go take a nap and then have a bowl of pistole.
Let's
And,
fucking go, cuz.
and I was like, these are the strongest Rocky Hardy vibes ever generated by It was not Rocky Hardy.
I'm gonna take a nap and get some pozole. That's some real shit, man. Honestly. Oh my
Like, I'm
god.
done now. I'm
I
done.
can't
I can
believe you
rest.
found someone who'd out-Rockied Rocky.
There are dozens of us, apparently. Oh my god.
I was like, is there one of those for every live services game? Some guy was like, finally, I can rest.
Finally I can rest, man. No, honestly, because fuck, dude. Brian, I joined Reddit, like, sincerely, to, like, figure out a way to get out of gold, and I hung out.
No.
No, I did.
No.
I did. There was a subreddit that I followed, which was called Summoner School, because, like, player characters in, like, League of Legends, not like the champions you'd play, but like the person controlling them, are called summoners. And like every day there would be like a topic that would pop up and people would be like, hey, I don't understand this question, or hey, I keep losing, or hey, what's this interaction? And like I would just kind of scroll into them every day, like, oh, I think the answer is this. And then I'd scroll through it and I'm like, and sometimes I was right and sometimes I was wrong, but I became more correct every day I kept reading those. And it helped.
I could not pay that cost.
That's fair.
Look, like, I will not put a painting of me in the attic. I will not. I cannot make a circle of salt. You know, I cannot summon. I will not cut my palm. You know.
You tell me there's no price you would pay to be a good-looking gentleman for an indeterminate amount of time?
Oh. Yeah. Video games, everybody. Video games.
That's everybody. This has been the Impossible Coin Podcast. Thanks for hanging out. We should do this sometime soon. We'll let you know when we're available. Thank you for podcasting.
Next level.
Bye.